everybody, and welcome to the Less Worse podcast. My name is Jerry, and I'm here with...
Akil Akbar.
Yeah, we fucking nailed it that time.
Yeah.
It would have been really smooth, though, if we didn't bring it up after we nailed the intro.
Right.
Anyway, so today I think we're going to be talking about video games, or at least, like, video games we've played lately, hype for video games recently, because it's kind of come to an all-time high.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah. I have more fun following the release of the video games than actually playing it when they come out.
Yeah, I actually definitely can relate to that because I can think of two games that come to mind for me. One everybody knows about, and one I've seen a lot of people enjoy it and others not. But I know this one's a little dated, but the one everyone's heard of is No Man's Sky. Did you ever hear about that one?
I heard that people started not liking it almost like immediately after it came
out. So basically, whenever that game came out, they promised all these different features. It was like, hey, you'll be able to explore like all these different worlds. You'll be able to like see all these creatures and stuff like that. And they said it would be procedurally generated, and it was. I mean, it was. There's more planets than you could ever possibly explore in a lifetime, which is what they advertised. But what they also advertised via a tech demo some months earlier, I guess maybe a year or two, I don't know how long it was out in the ether before they finally published it and it went gold and they actually started having people play it. But basically, they showed a tech demo where there was like all these different creatures and it looked like ecosystems and this lush planet. And then whenever you started playing the game, actually, and I did play the game, and I can agree with this, I went to several different planets, and it's basically just a kind of rocky planet with some weird plants on it that look weird, and then animals that look weird, but they don't really move naturally looking.
Wasn't it like you're like collecting stuff?
Yeah, it's basically you're just breaking rocks and collecting them.
It looked to me, I didn't play it, but like it looked like Banjo-Kazooie without the charm or like the fun.
It was. It was that. I mean, okay, so the fact that you can like go and shoot off into space in your spaceship and then, just fly to another planet, that's really fucking cool.
Right, yeah.
The concept was not the problem. The concept was rock solid and a great idea. The execution was trash. Now they've been updating it recently, and I think that it's probably going to turn out to be playable at some point and maybe even fun. And people have been sinking hours into it and liking it just fine. But it is becoming what they wanted it to be. I think this is another example of a very rushed release, and it was just like it was just not fun to start with. But
like I miss the days. I'm not like a huge gamer now, but like I miss the days when I could buy a game and it was just done. It was the game.
It was good.
Cause like or just like I've only been playing like one of the games I've been playing a lot recently. Like I'm going from like another friend of mine got me into like the Civ series, so I'm going from Civ 5 to Civ 6. Civ 6, it's a good game, but like without the World Congress and stuff like that, I don't know if they're going to add that or if there's plans, but it's just like there could be more to this.
Yeah.
And like sitting down playing games is like DLC gets so annoying in that like this is already so expensive. I don't want to buy add-ons where y'all could have really put this in the game anyway.
Yeah, where I already saw it in the last game. I kind of caught myself being needlessly jealous just now because you said like, oh yeah, my other friend got me into Civ, and I was like, he's talking about another friend. He's trying to embarrass you.
Yeah, my one friend.
Yeah, I'm it. Yeah. I got needlessly like aggressive. He's like, he's trying to embarrass you in front of people. Right. I've got another friend.
So, like, you're the only person that plays Civ.
Yeah. I thought I was. Yeah. I thought I was going to introduce you to this very obscure, nobody's ever heard of it game.
Or just even like Capcom with their on-disc content is like the disc locked stuff.
Yeah.
That makes me so mad. It's like, that used to not be a problem.
Well, okay, so another thing that, think like, Battletoads, shit like that.
Yeah.
Like games that are just bad Like, they used to not be able to patch them because once they got out there, there's no internet. It's like they're just out there.
Yeah.
So if they suck, they suck. Now, that is a thing that used to happen, and that's very unfortunate. But the byproduct that you're referring to in the gaming industry nowadays is that now that you can fix something remotely, now you don't have to release a finished game. You can release something that's buggy enough that it doesn't even work, and you can have an extra week to develop it, and you won't feel no one will expect any less.
I wish there was like something where like just a transparency thing where like we know the game's not done, but we have this release date that we know we announced. We're gonna release it with like a discounted price, and then when we finish it,
that would lose money. Like
I
people
understand
wouldn't buy it.
I understand that, but like I'm going out buying like games are like $60, $70 now.
Yeah.
To where it's like,
dude, with a season pass, they're $100. The
Right.
last like 5 games I've gotten into, they're like $100. And I couldn't afford them. I wanted to like buy the whole package all at once. I'm gonna end up shelling out another $50 later.
It's like
fucking lame.
Okay, you know the last Transformers movie where Optimus Prime
I've
was
not actually
riding.
seen any of the Transformers movies, but go ahead.
He was riding like the one where he was riding a dinosaur. I think it was like Age of Extinction.
Is that your favorite movie?
Yeah, it's my
Because
favorite.
it sounds like a fucking great movie.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime riding a dinosaur.
It was-
What's not to like?
I don't like that studios think that they can just show me like obviously dumb stuff and I'm supposed to like lose my mind.
Wow!
Like-
That's amazing!
Like, I'm supposed to see a robot riding a robot dinosaur and be like, awesome. It's like, I'm an adult. But like,
Well, it's not cool unless they're both shooting lasers out of their eyes.
yeah, but like,
They weren't.
It's like, I heard they started shooting that movie
This is stupid.
like without a script. And it's like,
Does
but
it show?
Of course. But it's like, you want me to pay like whole ticket money to go and see it.
Whole
If
ticket
I
money.
knew it's not done or is not good, like, cut me some slack. You know what I mean? Because like, it's to the point now where like so
Well,
many
okay, but that's another one of those cases. Once it's out the door, it's out the door, and
I
it's fucked.
understand. Like
Like they can make a director's cut, but no one's gonna fucking see it.
or just like don't make movies where you haven't written a
Written a
script.
script.
But like anyway, back to games.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just like
No script. All right, well, we gotta start shooting.
Right.
So let's just start shooting.
like I'm in
What's cool?
Right.
It's robots riding a robot dinosaur.
like I'm in college. If I was just like if I turned in an incomplete essay and I was like the rest of the essay will be done in like a week, but give me an A now. That doesn't work.
Doesn't okay.
How is that okay with the video game company?
I don't know. You're right. I mean, well, it's because they know they can get away with it nowadays, and in a lot of cases, like gamers will be like, "I'm boycotting them," whatever. But not enough people do it. People forget that they can vote with their wallets, and they're like, "Well, I guess I just own this game now, and I guess I'll just have to wait." Instead of like returning it or writing in like, "Hey, I'm not fucking. I don't like this."
I'm also a hypocrite because I can't not buy every NHL hockey game that comes out.
They're all the same
Year after year, it's the same game. It's just the updated roster, and they fixed the hitting some way. I'm
Yeah,
in.
feels the same to me, but I'll take their word for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, it's okay to as long as the game. Okay, there's a difference between if the formula works.
Remember when I guess like
which it does.
issues like when I forget which Battlefield came out, but it was just obviously broken.
All of them at launch.
Oh, okay.
Like 3, 4, Hardline. I think all of them had
Like-
hardships like that.
I don't know why
Battlefield
people...
4 was the one that was real like oh
right.
my god, dude.
Yeah. Like I don't know why people keep giving them a pass on that.
Because after they fix it, it really is a good game. I mean, people are like, oh, it's just a fucking another Call of Duty, basically. It's just fucking first-person shooter. It's like, who can quick draw the fastest? But, I mean, and it is.
Like Red Dead
It is.
Redemption, the duels.
Yeah. That's, oddly enough, that's a totally different
Aren't they
genre.
releasing a new Red Dead game?
They are, yeah. Speaking of video game hype, yeah, that's, I think that's for the end of the year, though. But I'm thinking about games that are, like, coming out. I think Mass Effect Andromeda is coming out tomorrow.
Oh.
And Ghost Recon Wildlands came out earlier this week.
What about
Dead Rising 4 came out on PC.
They could have really stopped after the first Dead Rising.
Well, they remastered it and put it on PC with
course.
the first one, and man, that game, it holds up. Ironically, like you wouldn't think
It's so
it was
silly,
it was kitschy and weird whenever it was first released, and because You don't expect anything different. You're not like, oh, updated graphics. It's
Right.
like, I just expect the same fucking Xbox 360 launch title.
It was just like a
It holds
dumb,
up.
fun game.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, I can put Lego people heads on zombies and then beat them to death with a lead pipe. Like, what's not to like?
I love how they had the foresight. It was like, we're gonna eventually make it where there's so many zombies that spawn. Here's a move where you just walk on their heads.
Yeah. It's like, because they're really just in your way at that point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I love that zombie walk. You just, like, I didn't know how to use that for the longest time because I would, like, just jump on and then jump back off.
Right.
But I didn't know you weren't supposed to, like, jump from zombie to zombie. You're literally supposed to, like, just walk, like, normally left thumbstick walk across them.
My thing is, like, I never finished that game because there were so many endings and so much. I'm bad with deadlines.
Yeah,
Versus I'm not gonna finish anything.
But yeah, based on the story of how you told your professor, I'll have an essay for you next week, but I need an A now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad with deadlines. That's okay. But yeah, no, I don't know. I've just been really disappointed by. There have been a whole bunch of games that have come out recently. Like For Honor is another game that came out recently that it was supposed to be really, really good. They hyped it all the way up. But as soon as it released, it was like, oh, it's got terrible server problems. There's no servers.
Maybe
it's all on some dude in China is like hosting a server, and you join that, and the connection sucks, and he wins.
That's something I hate about. Maybe I'm just antisocial. But I don't like how online is such like.
It's like the main feature for a lot of games now.
Cause like I said, I love NHL games.
Yeah.
But like
you play them by yourself.
Yeah, because I just do the franchise mode and I'm everything's Gucci.
Yeah.
But like they focus so much on just like the online, and then like I get online. Maybe it's just me, but like I hate when people don't play the game like me. Cause like I buy the sports game because I love the sport of hockey.
And you're gonna play it like hockey is played.
Yeah. But
like you've seen me straight up. I mean, I'm a little better now because I like to think when I play games now. But when we were younger, I guess probably about 4 or 5 years ago,
just body check, man.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you're coming down the boards. I'm just gonna fucking hit you.
Right.
You want to fight? I'm gonna fight every 3 minutes.
Which like I guess if I just wanted to be good at the game, I would adapt. But like
you just want to play
the
sport.
Simulation.
Yeah.
Like I tried one online game. I used to play online when I had like NHL 13.
Mm-hmm.
Then I sold my Xbox and I got a PlayStation just now this last year.
Yeah.
And I went online. I was just like, I was trying to run plays, and this dude is just like, I'm just gonna come straight up the middle and just
shoot for the fucking nosebleeds and see what happens.
Yeah.
I agree. That's lame.
Or just even what I was going back, or how the big thing was like, remember SimCity, the new one that came out? Where you had to always be online?
Yeah.
That's horseshit.
Yeah, there was no reason for that one. That made no sense. But yeah, no, that's a more and more common thing now. And the reason for that actually is, what's it, DRM?
Mm-hmm.
It's to avoid piracy. Because if you can't, if you don't have a game key and you can't verify with their server that you own the game, then, fuck you. And I get that. I understand that pirating game, like, I don't like to pirate things. I don't like pirating. Everybody does it. Everybody is file sharing. I'm not going to pretend like I don't. But, I mean, I'll, like...
Sometimes the only way I can play Love Plus is if I...
Yeah! What is that? What the hell is that?
It's like... It's a game that sad, lonely people play, where they have, like, Japanese girlfriends.
Sounds like you.
Yeah, I mean, it's for people like me.
For me, by me.
No, but, like, if I just want to... Because I don't... Like, if I want to play, like, crystal version of, like, Pokemon, I'm not going to go out and track down a physical copy of that game.
You're going to find an emulator. Yeah, because copies don't hardly exist anymore. Where are you going to buy them? Fucking GameStop doesn't sell them. They're not being sold new, so it's not going to the developer. Like,
Or if someone has one, they're going to hold on to it.
Yeah, because it's going to just get more value as more people fucking break them or something.
Right.
Or lose them.
Or batteries start running out.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing is piracy, but for me, I mean, there are a lot of people who are out there who are just literally like, well, why would I buy it and pay for it if I can pirate it? And that's a really shitty way to look at things.
Like, I'll typically support, like...
because if you like something, you should support it. Or if you feel like you want to be a part of something, you should support it. And normally that's by spending money. I mean, if you want to pirate all of fucking, Van Halen CDs, but be like, hey... I can get you on the top of the charts again. Fucking pirate their shit and do it. But normally you're going to have to buy their CDs to help them out.
Yeah.
So,
I love how Van Halen. That's not even your favorite band.
it's not, and I don't even know a Van Halen song off the top of my head.
Jump.
Is Panama?
Yeah.
Panama.
Yeah.
Panama.
On the Van Halen podcast.
Yeah. Welcome to the Van Halen podcast. But no, I mean, you know, if you're gonna, I was just like, what is my dad like? What has everyone heard of?
Your dad he let me borrow one of his Rush CDs one time. That was really cool.
My dad did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He got me on the Rush, so
that's how long ago that happened. It was a CD. No, I'm just kidding.
It was one time your dad was the last time your dad was ever nice to me.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
Then he said, "Get out."
Yeah. Here's a rush out of my house.
Yeah, rush the fuck out of my house. But anyway, so like, if you want to support somebody, the best way to do that is by buying their shit when they sell it.
Right.
But if you're like 10 or something, and you're like, wow, I can't play Grand Theft Auto 5 unless I pirate it, but if I had money, I would buy it, then fine. You know, the more a piece of art, and you know, games are art, music's art, blah, blah, blah. The more art gets into the hands of people who love it and want to support it, like no matter what point in their lives they are in, it'll be better for that medium.
Right.
Like it'll eventually come around to where they'll be like, you know, maybe they don't necessarily buy that particular game, but maybe they'll become a game developer because they were inspired or something. But just to restrict access to games because people can't afford them, that's fucked up.
Oh, sorry.
If it's like I don't want to pay for it, but I could, fuck you.
Right.
But if it's like I can't pay for it and I don't think I ever will, or I don't think I can, that's iffy. But if it's like, and this is the golden case of piracy, it's like if I can pirate it and I don't have the money, I will. But as soon as I can afford a legitimate copy, I will buy one.
Yeah.
Fucking do that. That's it's not barely even stealing.
Right. Barely.
I mean, I'm just gonna borrow it and then buy it off you.
Because like I'm still waiting. Like I said, I just started my new job. I'm waiting to buy like my legitimate copy of Civ 6.
Oh yeah.
I love that game. I love Civ.
No, I mean,
because like I have Civ 5. I paid for Civ 5.
Yeah.
It just I didn't have a job until now. So.
But yeah, I mean, it's a thing like that where it's like, you know, if you can't afford something but you love it and you want to support it, that's one thing. It's totally different.
It's like a demo.
To just be shitty. Yeah. I mean, it's a demo that you don't ever have to pay for if you don't want to, and it's got the full game.
And also,
it's a really bad business model, but it works sometimes.
I mean, also, it's like I don't get to have the updates or the online, so it's like there's restricted features still.
Sure.
So
yeah.
Like, if I just want the full thing, I have to buy it.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. No, it's exactly right. I mean, it is basically a very, very extended trial, and you can get the basic gist of the game from it. But you know, if you want to support the developers and stuff like that, you have to buy it, and that's okay. I mean,
like support developers who are worth supporting, though.
To me, yeah. I mean, yeah. You can't just go fucking like, oh, the guy
who buys EA games NHL
Fuck
year
you.
after year.
Fuck you.
No, I'm talking about me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you.
I mean, I'm not out here buying like I don't know what else they make besides
NFL games.
Don't buy Madden. Well, I can't say that, but like buy Madden if you like Madden, but
don't
Madden.
But don't buy Madden.
Yes.
But it sucks.
Let 2K start making football games again. Competition.
They've got the Arena Football League on lock.
Oh yeah, CFL, Canadian football.
But anyway, yeah. So I mean, piracy has its case. A lot of people. I actually did in college. I did a presentation about the horrible crime of online piracy and why it's not that bad. Because I'm a musician, man. I mean, I'm not for a living.
Right.
But it's not because people aren't pirating my shit. It's just because it's hard to get started in the fucking DFW area, which is in the middle of fucking nowhere musically.
There are some artists who I just respect so much where like I won't pirate their stuff though.
I mean, man, you know, for the longest time I loved Green Day, as embarrassing as that may be to a lot of people to have to admit. Like I loved Green Day for the longest time and I still do. It's just good music. It's poppy, it's fun, it's, you know, high energy. It's good. And I pirated their entire discography up until over time, and I guess this is kind of because I wanted to hear it in my car.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have like Bluetooth or any auxiliary cord or anything like that, but
Right.
I wanted to hear the music in my car, so I'd buy one CD at a time, and slowly but surely, I own their entire discography on CD, so I paid for it, and I could have ripped it onto my computer, and it had been no different from what I already had.
As like corny as it sounds, I feel better having bought it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, like you can look on your shelf and be like, I bought, like you get a collection.
Yeah.
I just like collecting things,
Yeah.
I think. So yeah.
No, dude. I have a Steam library of like 3,500 games. It's fucking pathetic. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, it's not 3,500 games. I think it's like 600.
Yeah. It's a jump.
No, I
Serious.
think I was thinking about the like monetary value of
Right,
it,
okay.
which is. It's I don't throw that number around like it's impressive. I throw it around like it's sad because that's money I could literally pay off all the debt I have right now from college and everything.
There's people out there who spent way more.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I mean, they had more money to spend in the first place.
I mean, as long as I'm not the like loser at it, I
I don't want to just own one game on Steam, but I still sure as shit don't want to spend $35 million on it.
my Steam library is so like depressed because I'm not a computer gamer. I just have like The Sims 3 and Civ 5.
That's fine. That's all you need.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Um,
Well, I mean, my computer isn't a gaming computer by any means, anyway.
mine is.
Yours is, yeah.
Mine's a fucking the blue beast, but
I don't know. I grew up with like, I'm just used to holding a controller and buying the console.
see, and people will find out where I live and come and like
True.
and burn down my house. But I have a gaming computer, and most of the games, if I can get away with it, I'll still play with a controller because I too grew up a console gamer. Like the first thing I think I ever remember playing was like pinball on Windows, but short of that, like a kid who used to live at my house when I was very young, he owned an N64, and then my parents got me a PlayStation, then a PlayStation 2, an Xbox 360. It's only very, very recently that I bought myself a laptop and then moved on to a much more powerful desktop that I became a PC gamer. And I mean, I'm not a PC gaming master race because I fucking own a Wii U.
Hey, Cucks.
And yeah. Hey, Cucks, you ready to build a computer? Anyway, so like, if fuck.
Inside jokes, that's what.
Yeah, that's an inside joke I'm not going to explain. But anyway, I mean, it's still funny because cucks is a hilarious word. It's also sad in the context that it's normally used. It's just because it's just... I mean, if you enjoy that, then fucking good for you. But if you think that that's like the saddest thing, then fuck you. I'm not into that. You know, my girlfriend's not into that. But if we were... it wouldn't be that hurtful to us to say that to us. Anyway.
Welcome to Cuckcast.
Welcome to Less Cuck. Hopefully more. But I mean, I've been a PC gamer for a very long time because that's just where I choose to spend most of my money and most of my time when I'm gaming. But I still own an Xbox, I still own a fucking Wii U, and I still enjoy both of those things because fucking I can't crowd 3 people around my desk and have a good time playing with them.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Is the Wii U that much different than the Wii, where they had to make a whole new thing?
Actually, yeah. Just because, like, I feel like the Wii was actually a useless step less than the Wii U was. I mean, it's a very different console. Don't get me wrong, but like. They went from, the GameCube to the Wii, and the Wii added very little to it. It felt primitive when it came out, which is why I never owned one.
Right.
I mean, I had, like I said, I'd played with an N64, I had a PlayStation, I had an Xbox. I saw what the Wii could do. I was just like, I have no interest in owning this. All my friends had one. All my cousins had one. Yeah. You know, I knew plenty of people who had one. I'd played it several times, and I always thought about, maybe it'd be cool to have one. No.
Yeah.
No. And then the Wii U came out. And I guess the thing that really drew me in was like, I haven't owned a Nintendo product in a very long time that wasn't a handheld. And I think it'd be fun just to have one of these in the house. Because Mario Party's really cool. Fucking, Mario Kart's awesome. Super Smash Brothers is awesome. And I was like, you know, I'm going to play these games, and my friends are going to really enjoy it. And they did. The Wii U's been one of the best console purchases ever. I mean, the Switch just came out, and I really don't feel any need to trade in.
Well,
hold on. I don't feel any need to trade in because there's really no launch titles for the Switch yet. Sorry, go ahead.
I think I'm at a point now to where, like, whatever marketing Nintendo uses just doesn't affect me. Like, it seems like they're trying to needlessly innovate to where, like, I wanted to play Pokemon Sun, the new one that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have a DS whatever version. So I went out and got the one, like that one, I forget what it's called.
The 2DS?
2DS. And I'm like, what kind of portable thing doesn't fit in your pocket?
Yeah, like this thing, it's like a 3DS that doesn't fold over.
Yeah.
So it's like, why does it exist? Like, I can't take this with me anywhere. Like it's got to stay in my room or I'll fucking get it. Someone will beat me up for it because they'll know I have it.
Right.
I can't hide it in my pocket.
Like the last Nintendo thing I had was like just the regular DS and then like the GameCube.
Dude, you need every pocket of fucking cargo shorts to fit that thing into.
Right.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's not like it won't fit into a pocket, but like it's getting to the point where my phone is too big to fit into my pocket. I just own I own a Samsung Galaxy, so it's not that big. Mm-hmm. It's a little wider and a little taller than I would like my phone to be. That thing is literally double the size of that. Yeah. So fuck that. I'm not putting that in my fucking pocket.
It's like carrying around. It's like you might as well carry around like a big ass, like carry your iPad.
Just put an iPad in your pocket.
Download an emulator.
Yeah, I mean you could. Yeah. You could absolutely do that, and it would do more. But you know, I like it. I think the 3D thing is kind of overrated, and if they had a 2DS that folded over and was just as functional, because it really isn't. It feels cheaper. It looks cheaper, and it doesn't fold up. You can't take it places. If they had a 2DS that looked just like a 3DS and folded over and everything, I would buy the shit out of that, because if it was like just $30 less but it doesn't have 3D, fuck it, I don't ever use the 3D. It hurts my head.
Right.
I don't care.
I will say the only thing that like I was glad I got it for, I got to play the Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah, I love that game.
It was so good.
Yeah, I sold that game like an idiot because my ex-girlfriend wanted to play Diablo with me. The only way to do that would be to buy her own copy, and at the time I didn't really have any spare money, but that game traded in for a lot, so I traded in and got her Diablo.
Well, I mean, like, after you beat the game, unless you're
I never did.
Oh.
That's why I feel like a fucking idiot, because that game now is like $50 still used.
Well, I mean, like, if you were to beat it, you really should have beat it. Because, like...
I know!
Yes. I mean, like, the good thing is, like, if you ever just get it back, like, you can sell it again. Because after you play it, unless you're just so interested in just, like, the dialogue between people, even then you could find, like, a compilation on YouTube and just see what the talking is like. Because, like, I didn't like the battling. Like, I just wanted to see where their story was going. So...
Yeah, I didn't finish it. I mean, it didn't really grab me either, though. So... But I only got through maybe the first, like, 2-3 hours. Because at that time I was in college and going through a lot of, like, classes and stuff like that, so I didn't have the time to really focus on the game, but I did enjoy what I played of it.
Did you get to the point where, like, Frederick became useless?
Dude, honestly, it's been, like, 2 years, so I don't know.
All right.
Again, I was still in college. That's been a little bit for me.
Okay.
But anyway, so let's go back to the... I guess I don't really know where we like branched up. We've come a long way branching off from what we were originally talking about.
We were talking about like DLC for a while.
Yeah, we were talking about a lot of things for a while, but
online.
Yeah. Well, okay, so where I wanted to go was like games are.
Oh, the hype.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's where we started. But like games are getting more and more hyped, and they're coming out more and more like incomplete.
Oh,
as they come out.
Are you gonna get the new Mass Effect?
I think so, but not immediately. I mean, okay, so I'm glad you asked that because I wanted to bring this up. A couple weeks ago, I went to play Mass Effect 3 just because I never did finish that. I finally have a nice beefy computer. My first computer that I tried to play it on could barely run it. It was like a measly 15 frames per second, which it just looks like trash. Just trust me. If you don't know anything about computers, it looks like crap. That's all you need to know. So, because it's just skippy. But, so I would try and play that, and I got fairly far into the game, but finally I was just like, I need a new computer. I got a new computer, could not bring my save data over. I don't know why. I mean, I could have, but I just didn't. I don't know what I did. It wasn't my main focus,
Right.
Mass Effect 3. So I just recently tried to start over and do it again, because I never did finish it. And it plays like Dragon Age 2, and I forgot how old that game was, and it really sucks.
I was just like,
It doesn't even scale all the way up to 1080, I don't think, and it doesn't. And if you don't know anything about computers, that means it's pretty old.
Okay.
I don't know if it scales up to 1080. I think it does because it fit on my screen okay. But it looked like hot garbage, man. Like it just was not good. Like I know that Dragon Age, the last one, Inquisition, is newer than that, and Inquisition it's kind of getting old now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not old. It's still a good-looking game and perfectly worth playing. But that said, Mass Effect 3 I don't think is. And especially since the storyline I've been told is just bad at the end.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, like, how are they going, like, because I know the ending made so many people, I never played Mass Effect, but I just know people were so mad about the ending.
The ending was just color-coded according to everybody.
Yeah.
I never finished it either, but so we're basically speculating at this point. But
so, like, I was wondering, did they, like, what's making people want to give them another
they
chance?
made a new DLC to kind of explain the ending, but not change it.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people were satisfied by that. The people who were already satisfied with the ending were like, okay, it's still good. I mean, nobody was like, oh my god, that's fucking game changing.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are already happy with it were still happy with it. Some of the people won over, and I think everybody wants to see some more Mass Effect.
Right.
Just because the gameplay is good, the concept is good. The only thing that was really missing in that whole formula was the ending. Like, people love Mass Effect. People really love Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3 was just... I don't know. It was just... The ending was just kind of a divot in their expectations. But
Right.
I think that people still like the series. They just didn't like that one moment. And I think there's enough people willing to forgive them for that that they can sell another one.
So, like, relevant or in relation to the older game, is this a continuation or?
I believe it's in a whole. I mean, it's Andromeda, so it's in the old one was in the Milky Way.
Oh, okay.
This is
That's
in the
another
Andromeda.
galaxy.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
totally different, and they're just.
Is it in the Super Mario Galaxy?
No.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean neither. Now that I think about it, if it's not in the Super Mario Galaxy, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fighting the Katamari Damacy guy.
Yeah, that's just called Super Smash Bros, man.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, which is the 3.5 Mass Effect game. Mass Effect 3.5, better known as Super Smash Bros. Brawl. But anyway, so I don't know. I kind of feel like we're just rambling, but
Yeah.
but that's all right. That's okay.
It's like, is there any game? It's like, is there one? You said you were looking for. Have you played the new Zelda?
Okay, so no. Yeah, my friend Sam bought it for the Wii U, which I also have one. I mean, he lives in the same house as me, so he bought it on the Wii U, and played a lot of it, and he's been busy working lately, and he was like, hey man, if this game's really good. People are saying it's like one of the best Zelda titles of all time, like better than Ocarina. It's it's got the same open world feel as the first one, where you're literally just dumped into it. Here's a sword, go fucking fight the evil, which is cool. But they're saying it's one of the best Zelda titles of all time, and if you don't know anything about Zelda, it's one of the most beloved video game franchises of all time. Bar none. It hands down, like, it's one of the most beloved. Nintendo has a thing about making childhoods, and that's one of the ones that helped do it. You have some shit to say, I can tell.
I want to say, because I honestly feel as if Ocarina is kind of whack, but like I can't explain exactly why I think it's whack.
Well, okay.
I think I played it way too late. Like, I've played better games since then.
You have.
Yeah.
I've not played it, but I've seen it played a lot.
Is there any game from like your childhood to where like it just doesn't hold up anymore?
You would ask me some shit like that. Yeah, but I can't really remember, like, what game that would be.
Because for me, it's any like N64 game. The controller, I just don't understand.
No, I can hardly. I mean, the Wii U. Something about the controls on Nintendo's consoles are just a little wonky. It's just a little non-responsive. It's enough to drive you fucking crazy. And the further back you go, the worse it gets.
The GameCube for me got it right.
Yeah.
Like, that's the last controller Nintendo made where it's just like, I get this.
Yeah.
Because it was the console I started out
Because you didn't need three hands to hold it.
Right, yeah. Anything.
I mean, the Wii U feels a little floaty. You know, I haven't tried the Switch yet. The 3DS feels a little... Like, if you try to play Smash Bros. On the 3DS, it really just does feel a little bit
Mm-hmm.
But it... No, the N64 I actually never really had any problem with because it feels appropriate for the games that you're playing. The same way that like the NES controller would feel appropriate for like Mario or Donkey Kong or whatever.
It's like I know, just like my controller rows with Nintendo games. It's like whenever I go over to anyone's house, it's like, you want to play Smash, man? And it's like they might as well be asking, you want to get your ass kicked for as long as we're playing this?
Yeah.
Game?
How would you? I mean, I've been that guy to you too, so I'm sorry.
I just take the ass kicking. It's like, all right.
Yeah, you're just down to make everyone else's day better.
Right. It's like whenever someone's like, you want to play Mario Party? I was just like, what? If an actual party ever devolves into Mario Party.
Oh no, dude! Actually, that's one of my favorite parties I ever went to. Was our friend Reed went to? I don't think it was a birthday party. It might have been. I don't know. He has a birthday party every year, and he's like 23. So, you know, whatever. That's cool. Good for him. I never did have any birthday parties. Hardly. I had one when I was 12, and one when I was 18, and one when I was 21, and that was it. But anyway, so I'm 21 now. I say that like I'm just out of chances to have birthday parties.
It's over.
But like I'm 80.
It's
like
age you're allowed to have a birthday party.
Otherwise my parents will tell me no, and I.
You call your parents as a grown ass man.
Yeah, it's like, can I have a birthday party in my own home on my own time on my own dime? It's like, hell no. Fuck. Damn it, Mom. But anyway. So, like, it was one of his birthday parties. We were, like, hanging out by his pool and whatever. And he was like, hey, guys, it's getting late. We can't be in the pool anymore. Which it was his parents' house. So, you know, rules are rules. It's fine.
Right.
We go in, and we're watching TV and whatever. And, you know, this is a, 16, 17-year-old's birthday party. So there's no alcohol involved. There's no, like, wild drugs or orgies or anything.
There's,
and
like,
it's his parents' house. So.
Out there listening who's just like, there was no alcohol at a 16-year-old birthday.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. What fucking lame little bitches they were. And we were. I mean, we didn't...
I didn't start drinking until I was actually legal. So.
I started drink. I mean, my parents let me drink, so it's not like I was like getting up into any debauchery. My dad was just like, I mean, if you want to have some, you can have a sip. I mean, don't get drunk, but you can have some.
I was always
one time he gave me Kahlua to help like numb my throat, and it worked. So anyway.
I was always like straight edge until I just wasn't.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I don't know what happened.
I noticed that you're drinking a beer now. But anyway, so no, we were at his birthday party, and there was really nothing going on. It was just normal, basically kid's birthday party, which sounds weird to say about like a 16-year-old since I'm only 21, but it was a kid's birthday party, and we weren't really doing much.
Right.
And Reed was like, hey guys, do you want to, like, his parents went to bed, and we had the living room to ourselves and this big ass TV, and he was like, hey guys, do you guys want to play Mario Party? And we just played the original fucking Mario Party on the N64 on his TV, and it was really fucking cool. I know what you're saying by saying that, like, oh yeah, if a party just devolves into Mario Party, like, what fun were we having in the first place? But really, I mean, that was the last good, wholesome party I went to, where it was just like, everybody's having a good time, everybody's totally aware of what's going on, nothing bad could possibly happen, and nothing did.
I feel you.
So, yeah, I know you don't agree, but it was pretty fucking cool.
No, like, it's just like this realization to where like, oh right, parties don't have to turn into like someone's like dying.
Yeah.
So,
like the party's over when someone goes to the hospital.
Yeah.
When the cops show up.
It made me realize like, oh, I'm the warrior.
Yeah, no. No, parties, people don't have to die at parties, kids.
Right.
That doesn't make them cool.
Wow.
Am I teaching you shit?
Yeah. I haven't been to a party that ended wholesomely in so long.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I went home the next morning and I had a great time. I got to tell my parents about it and I didn't have to omit anything for fear of being punished. It was cool. But anyway.
It's like the best commercial for Mario Party.
I know. Mario Party is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Depending on what you like about it and which one you're playing, it's a good game.
Did you ever see that like knockoff that Sega did with Sonic?
No.
It's so bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it 3D? Because that would explain why.
It's needlessly complicated.
Is it like how Futurama, whenever they had like Blurns Ball? Like they never explain the rules and it's just like blurns,
Basically.
multi-ball.
I remember something about it to where like, damn. I remember just something about how just there's an object in Mario Party where like you need to do this to win.
Yeah.
And, like something was in your control. Like you had say over something.
See, actually you didn't, because as soon as you were like, oh, I have the most stars at the end of the game, I win and we're out of turns. Like, I have the most stars and we're out of turns. That's it. I win. They would be like, bonus stars! And the fucking kid who was in last place the entire time would fucking win.
I know what it was.
But anyway, what?
Just there was no rhyme or reason to when you would play the party game. It would just kind of happen. And it was like it wasn't
at the end of every turn. It was
wasn't
just
like you landed on a thing. It's just like party game, just like randomly.
I mean, I know Mario Party. It's like one at the end of every turn, one if during special events, and one every time you land on a certain spot. But like, yeah, whenever if it was just like, it's like, all right, now roll the dice. But before you roll the dice, it's a party game.
Basically,
God damn.
Yeah, it's like the game. It's like the developers were just like, fuck it. They just want to play the mini games, so they just made it mini.
It's like
games.
so just throw one in every 4 seconds.
Which like I can't be. I mean, yeah, that's the point. So no one cares who wins a game of Mario Party.
That's not true. I still remember that Reed swept the floor with me at that party. That was the only bad time I have because I was so pissed because he was so good. He knew every single mini game like right off the bat, and like everyone else would have to like practice it or like learn the concept for the mini game, and he would just like turn around and not watch the practice and turn around when it came time to do the real thing and just do it, and he'd win every fucking time.
That makes me think he just sits and practices Mario Party in his
Yeah, he's gonna go pro.
It's a Mario Party animal.
It's Mario Party.
Mario Party.
Yeah. It's not clever because it's not true. Anyway, yeah, no, I mean, Nintendo makes some really, 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 really good, memorable childhood making games. But sometimes they just flub an entire console or a controller concept. It's like, you need 3 hands to play this. Do you not have 3 hands? Maybe all this radiation in Japan is doing bad for us.
I think maybe I'm just getting older because like I've seen commercials for the Switch and I just don't know. I don't know what it is.
So basically, actually, I wanted to bring this up earlier with the Wii U. The Wii U is actually a pretty cool upgrade from the Wii, just because like there's a screen on the controller, on the primary controller, and you can actually take it. And I've seen people do this. Like on certain games, you can't do this, but for like Wind Waker or Twilight Princess or the new Zelda game, and I know I just named Zelda games, but you can do it with a bunch of games. There's some that use like the screen as an extra periphery, so it's like another, like it shows the map or something, so it doesn't have to clutter up your screen.
Right.
But for the games I just mentioned, like the original Mario and things like that, you could use that as the entire screen for the game. So if someone else is playing the Xbox using the TV, you can still just pick up the controller, and if you wanted it to last all day, just plug it in, sit on the couch next to the console, or next to wherever the fucking, within 40 feet of the console with this thing, and you could play the whole game, even with sound. It has its own speakers. Yeah, and it, like, I did it earlier today. I just was like, I really feel like playing a little quick game of Mario. You can do that with the Mario Maker. You can do it with, like, the original NES Mario. It's a really cool little thing. I thought, like, when you asked me, was it worth buying over the Wii? Yes, because the Wii didn't have that. Other than that, yeah, it's functionally identical. Just different games. The Switch, I don't know what they really changed up about it. I for as much as we're talking about and speculating about video games, I really haven't done any research on any of this. I know what I've heard, and I know what what has happened with games that have already released, But there's just so many.
I feel like we should have talked about games that we played.
I mean, we can.
Yeah.
We still got time, I think. Hold on. I think. Yeah, we got fucking 15 minutes. It's fine. But you know, the Switch, I believe, is something that they wanted to take the concept a step further. Because I remember Reed would take his Wii U, because he was the first one to have one. He would like pack the whole thing up into a backpack, plug it into like a wall by the kitchen or something, you know, wherever the most central location was going to be, wherever we were hanging out in the house, and he would just whip out the gamepad and play whatever the fuck game he wanted. He didn't need a TV. He didn't even need to like hook up to anything. So he would just do it that way. And it was a really cool idea. The Switch, I believe, is capitalizing on that idea by making it where you can take the entire console just on the go, however you want. So I think that's what it is. It switches, you see.
Oh.
I know. From a home console to a portable console on the fly.
Is that because the 2DS isn't portable and they just said...
Yeah. Yeah, it's because the 2DS is garbage. But anyway, yeah. All right, if you're tired of speculating about games, what game do you want to talk about? What have you played recently? That's good.
All I do.
I hold on. I would love to talk about Breath of the Wild because I say that my friend borrowed it to me. He did it last night, and I still haven't played any of it. So we're not going to talk about that one.
All I really do is play NHL.
Yeah.
That's the only game.
And you wanted to talk about shit that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
because everyone wants to hear about just you playing virtual hockey.
I mean, because I like Zelda, but I haven't played Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Okay, so I've never, for all the talk I've done about like Nintendo, I would like to clarify that I've never finished a Pokemon game. I've never finished a Mario game. I've never finished a Zelda game. If we're gonna go by percent cleared for Smash Bros, I've never finished a Smash Bros game.
I could just sum up the end of every Pokemon game. You beat the Elite Four, beat the champion. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, I know, I know what the end is because
Yeah.
it's just every game is the same. So by now, if you spoil the game that came out yesterday, you're also spoiling the game that came out 25 years ago, and vice versa. So it doesn't really matter to me. But actually, I guess was Pokemon. Was it Fire Red was the first one? Or no, Red?
Yeah, it was like red, blue, and yellow.
1994? Five?
I think 5.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's as old as me.
Mm-hmm.
But, so yeah, 21 years ago. Something like that. 20-year-old game.
Yeah.
If you spoil that, you're spoiling the new one too, and it doesn't make any difference to me.
Right.
But, yeah, so it's just something I've never really been... Okay, so like I said, I've not owned a Nintendo console except for a DS, which, you know, by proxy I should have fucking finished a Pokemon game by now, but I haven't. I've owned a bunch of them, but I haven't finished a single one. I've only owned like handheld consoles up until the Wii U, and then I finally got my own, and that one actually doesn't have any Pokemon games on it. But anyway, I mean, not like any actual Pokemon games. There's like Pokken Tournament, which is like Tekken with Pokemon.
I saw that.
I never played that. I mean, I'm not pretending I've played that one, but that one exists.
That's like the only way I would have gotten into Pokemon, because it's like...
As if I can get them to beat the shit out of each other in real time.
Was if Pokemon Go, if the battling wasn't just like
Oh, dude.
trash.
Was there battling in that?
It was barely. You catch whatever Pokemon and then you button mash, and hopefully you button mash better than whoever you're button mashing against.
Huh.
And then you win or lose. It doesn't matter because no one cared.
No, I noticed that fell off rather quickly for as much as... I mean, not... It lasted for a month or two.
Because it's like how we were talking about earlier. They released it, and I think they were expecting to just add stuff later. But I think they underestimated how much of a fad that it was.
Yeah.
And that I don't think anyone was like a diehard Pokemon Go fan when it came out.
No.
So I don't even...
It could have been a lot more. Because you could have been... like, are we not at that point where it's like... You had this with the Game Boy Color. You could hook up with your friend and battle your shit against each other. But they were just like, no one wanted to do that, so they just didn't include the feature. So yeah, you can't battle individual people with the Pokemon that you catch. Nobody's gonna care.
Because
that's the point. That's the point of Pokemon.
Right.
To catch them and fucking fight them against each other. There's no fighting.
I remember there was like no trading. I remember something about hearing there was like a patch they were gonna add it. I don't know if they actually have because no one plays it anymore.
Nope.
So like, but like.
Well, I just remember the GPS issues were what threw me off because I wanted to play it. I mean, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, but I was like, all my friends are into this. It'd be fun to try and get into.
The novelty of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I couldn't fucking play it
because like so many people just jumped on it when it first came out, and like the servers just couldn't handle it.
No, and I guess it was probably some of my phone's GPS just being bad, but no, it was not worth my time. So I didn't really push the issue, and I've not returned to it since, and I don't know what became of it. I don't even know if it's got a player base anymore.
It's probably just like people who love Pokemon.
People who won't let it go. Just let it die.
There's someone out here who's like wanting to complete the Pokedex, but it's just like
someone did
within like 48 hours of it being released.
That's sick.
Which like I don't know what kind of like magic school bus.
There's one that is only available on Delta Flight 478, and I got the first ticket onto that bitch.
Real talk. Like there were Pokemon only available in certain places.
Yeah.
And they did it.
And he got them, yeah. No, that's crazy. I don't know. And we're still talking about games that we just don't like and don't play.
It's being negative.
Well, I mean, if it's kind of like a movie. If we don't have like an antagonist or a problem, then it's boring.
Right.
Not to imply that we're interesting or anything, but we would be more boring if we didn't bitch and moan.
Right.
I don't know. I just let's talk about a game that we like. So,
Love Plus.
Yeah, you love Plus. I plus love Plus.
I can't even lie and pretend like I didn't actually play through that game. Like I put hours into that game.
Dude, I don't know. I still don't know what it is. I mean, you explained it to me, but I don't know.
It was just.
You know what? Let's fucking kill our last 8 minutes talking about Love Plus.
Right. So I can't not obsess over things. So it was more so just like, I'm lying. Like I just wanted to just like look. I needed to just see where it ended up, and
what is the game, Akil?
You basically are just like this Japanese high school student, and you move to a new high school, and it's like there's 3 girls, and they each have different personalities. Imagine like Harvest Moon, but just like cutting the bullshit. Like we know why you're here. So like I played it, and it's like. I never was more disappointed in a thing because it's just like AI hasn't advanced enough to where it's just like recycling dialogue and everything. It's so depressing that I put like about 100 hours into it.
Why?
Because
that's what fucking 4 days and 4 hours that you could have spent on anything else.
Because I spent so long pirating the game on my shitty computer.
And your internet sucks, right?
Just like by principle. It was by principle, and like I just wanted to see like, all right, how different are each of these girls? And not
so
really.
let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you explaining this to convince me?
No.
To convince the audience? Or to convince yourself?
To convince myself.
Yeah, I know. We both knew already.
If it's any consolation, I was like...
Nothing you can say, but go ahead, what?
I was like 16 when I did it. I'm like 22 now.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's
still old enough.
I thought you were about to say, I did it last week.
No. I mean, 16 is still old enough to where it's just like, I should have been dating real girls.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I bring it up because
I love how you kind of said that out of the side of your mouth, like I should have been dating real girls.
Yeah,
should have been dating real girls.
Yeah. I mean, surprise. Like socially, nothing was really popping in high school, but like it was like
Well, we went to high school that had
our graduating class was 26 people.
Was it 26? I thought it was 25.
Like 25, 26. It's still like...
I don't care about any of them, so that's fine.
Yeah.
It's you that I've stayed in contact with, but that's about it.
Right. I bring that game up because like there was one dude in Japan who like he got married to like.
I know exactly what you're talking. I know what this game is. Then okay, yeah.
Is that game?
Oh fuck, dude! He got married to the character in the game,
and like
for real.
Yeah, and I'm just like
he went to a church, got a priest, and got married to his DS.
Yeah, and me having put in like 100 hours of it, I was just like, look, I don't know. What new is there? Like do you have to get actually divorced from this thing? Like it couldn't have been.
He's not gonna. I mean, once you go that crazy, you're not gonna fucking scale it down.
Well, I mean, like, who's going to just marry him after learning he's the guy that married his Nintendo DS?
Yeah, like I said, he made his bed. He's got to lie in it.
Yeah.
That's about it, dude.
I mean, he has like 20 hairstyle options to choose. So hopefully, he doesn't get bored with it.
Yeah, really. My girlfriend just puts on wigs, and I feel like I'm cheating.
Because like the game is just like you take your stylus and you just like rub their face, and it's just like after a while, it's just like that's not a real relationship.
That's sexy.
Yeah.
I wish that's what a real relationship was. That'd be a lot less complicated.
Not even with your hand, just with a stylus.
Yeah, just with a stylus. I don't want to touch her.
Right.
That's dirty. Oh, that's dirty. Oh, you know what? I think that's a good place to leave it.
That is a good place.
I think that's probably that's the. I mean, what other stopping point could we possibly have other than I want to rub girls with a stylus on their face?
I don't know. It reminds me of all those like Newgrounds dating songs.
I never played those, and we're not going to talk about it. All right, so I think that
Frank's Adventure.
I don't want to know.
All right.
I don't even want to know. All right. Thank you for listening today. This has been the Less Worse podcast. I'm Jerry.
I'm Akil.
And we'll talk to you later. Bye. I'm mad at you.